Hey, what's up? My name is Ange. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing the mid-year book tag. So I did this book tag last year, and I feel like I was in a completely different place 1 year ago with what I was reading, how much I was reading, and stuff like that. So this is going to be a very different book tag. I'm pretty sure that the questions are... some of them are the same, but some of them I have more. I got all of the questions that I will be answering from Sarah Crowley's video, so if you are interested in what questions, and if you want to do your own video on them, I will be putting all the questions in the description below. So starting off is the best book that I've read so far in 2024, and I just could not pick between these two, so I had to put two down. There is no way that I could pick because I love them both for so many different reasons. The first one is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and the second one is the Bad Reputation Duet. Yeah, it's technically two books, but it's one because it's in one book, so I'm calling that one book by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I absolutely loved the both of them, and if you know both of those books, they are so drastically different. I have read the Addicted Calloway Sister series in 2023, and I had been putting off reading the Bad Reputation Duet because I didn't want to lose that core family. I didn't want to lose them. I know that there's all those spin-offs about their kids and stuff like that, but I just couldn't do it. I wanted to hold on to them as much as I could. I finally read it. I absolutely loved it. I finished that 700-page book so quickly. It was so good. I know they're not it's Willow and Garrison, but I know that they're not the core six, but they're still so heavily involved that I got so much of the core six that I was absolutely obsessed and I loved it. And Divine Rivals is just something completely different. It was actually a book club read that I read, and I absolutely loved it. If you want all my full thoughts on that, I did post a video of our book club read and our reactions to that. Can't believe that I put it off for so long, but I'm so happy that I read it as a book club read with my friends so that we were able to all talk about it, because being able to sit there and really dissect that book with them was incredible. How many books have you read so far this year? So I've read, at this very time of filming, I just finished a book, so I have read 52 books out of my 80 goal for the year. I don't know if I'm gonna go over my goal or slow down on the reading a little bit, but I think I'm 11 or 12 books or something ahead of schedule, so that's insane. I have read more all the previous years, but this year I've just been way busier, but I'm averaging about 7 or 11 books a month, which is crazy because that's not planned at all, but it's either been 7 or 11 every single month. So we're on a good roll here, guys. We're on a very good roll. Best sequel you've read so far in 2024. Now, at this time of filming, I have read Binding 13, and I'm currently reading Keeping 13. So I can't technically count that in here. However, I still think that Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross takes the cake for that one. I'm pretty sure it is the only sequel that I've actually read this year. I could be wrong on that. So flashback to or flash forward or whatever to when I am editing this video, I'm oh my god, I actually did read another sequel. But I looked through all my Goodreads. This one just takes the cake no matter what. That book was so amazing for a sequel. I immediately had to go pick up the next one. It was incredible. So good. I feel bad for anybody who read Divine Rivals as soon as it came out and had to wait for Ruthless Vows, because I actually read it. I read Divine Rivals and then immediately went into Ruthless Vows. I couldn't imagine having to wait that long to know what happens in that book. So if you know how Divine Rivals ends, how could you have done that for that long? A new release that you haven't read yet but want to. So I really want to read The Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. Also really want to read King of Sloth by Anna Huang. And then Expiration Dates by Rebecca Searle. I have it right here. Yeah, Rebecca Searle. So those are 3 books that I've bought so far that just came out this year that I have not read yet. They've been sitting on my TBR cart. I'm thinking I'm going to pick up This Summer Will Be Different next month, possibly. I'm kind of really hoping to, because I read all of her books. Anna Huang, the King of Sloth series, or the King of Sin series is so good. King of Sloth is book number 4. And then Expiration Dates is Rebecca Searle's, I'm pretty sure her newest book. I just finished One Italian Summer, so I want to give myself a little bit of a break from her writing and then jump into it a little bit later, just so nothing is too similar. But that one is so interesting to me. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So I have 2 books here, and there's probably so many more, but I don't typically keep up with new releases that are coming out unless I follow the author very closely or something like that, where my friends tell me about it. So the only 2 that I have on here are 1,000 Broken Pieces by Tilly Cole and The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I am super excited for both of them. The biggest surprise. So the biggest surprise I've had this year, and I didn't actually write down a book for this one, was the amount that I have been reading each month. Like I said earlier on in the video, I have either been reading 7 or 11 books a month. I don't know how it keeps happening, but somehow, some way, I look at my, I track everything in Notion, so I have my like reading tracker on there, and somehow I end up with either 7 books or 11 books. It is not planned. I am just busier some other months, but somehow, some way, I always end up either having 7 or 11 books. Again, completely unplanned, but isn't that so weird? Next is a favorite new author debut or new to you. So this year, I have been trying to go like out of my comfort zone with what I've been reading, but at this very moment, my favorite new author is Chloe Walsh. I just started The Boys of Tommen? Correct me, please. The Boys of Tommen? No, it's Tommen, right? Yeah, The Boys of Tommen series. So Chloe Walsh, love your writing. It's so good. I'm so happy that I picked this up. I was going to put down a different author for this, but when I was sitting there and thinking about it, I was like, you know what? No, but like, this is amazing. I absolutely love it. So Chloe Walsh, by far right now. My newest fictional crush. Okay, so I have a few of these here. So currently I am listening to the audiobook for Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Oh my god, the names. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I butcher everything here. So Justin, he is so sweet. Like, it's just such like genuinely a good book that I love him. He is such a good male-made character that I love him. He's so cute. Also, Lucien, sorry, butchering names here, from Things We Left Behind. I absolutely adored that book. Him, like, all around, just like the powerful man. I loved him so much. I also have Kale Westfall from Throne of Glass. I read the first book of Throne of Glass back in like March or something like that, and I absolutely just loved him. I loved him so much more than Dorian, and I don't know if that is going to kick me in the face later because I have only read the first book, so anybody who has finished that series, I apologize, but like, I'm so scared that I'm not going to love him. But as of right now, so cute. Next are actually 2 boys from the Boys of Tommen series, and more in like an adorable, like, oh, I just want to like squeeze your face, you're so cute kind of way, is Johnny Kavanagh and then Gibbsy. I love them both. They're so cute. Like, Johnny is so protective. Like, I just like think he's like such a good boyfriend for Shannon. If anyone has read that, please go read Binding and Keeping 13. I'm currently reading Keeping 13, but so good. And Gibbsy, he's so funny. Like, they're like my fictional crush in like a you're so cute kind of way. Like, I had to mention them in this question. Book that made you cry. Now I have 2 on here. I'll start off with the one that there was no physical tears for this one, but it hurt so bad, was Binding 13, and I don't want to spoil anything, but if you know, you know, that one like physically hurt my chest. Now, the book that I physically cried to was If Only I Had Told Her. I have a reading vlog up of me reading that book. Now, that book hurt my heart so bad. I cried to If Only I Told Her, but I didn't cry to If He Had Been With Me. I just think that book was so good. So, like, wow. Next is the book that made me happy, was The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. I loved The Deal. I loved the Off-Campus series and Briar You series by Elle Kennedy. Like, she is one of my all-time favorite authors, like the OG author for me. So being able to read The Graham Effect was so amazing because Garrett Graham was like my favorite. I'm a Garrett Graham girly till the end. So being able to read that book was so good. I was just happy the entire time I was reading it. The most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. So I have the Powerless Special Edition, which I think is just such a beautiful cover. That is such a beautiful book. I also have to mention Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows again. I have both of those books. They are so good. I think that the covers are just gorgeous. I love. Also, One Italian Summer. I just read that one. I think that cover is amazing. Just because I physically have this one next to me, is that not like literally one of the most beautiful covers you've ever seen in your life? Because wow. Also, Binding 13, the Keeping 13, I do not have like the original covers with the people on them. I have the ones that are kind of like not watercolor, but like that, again, here or here, whichever side I decide to put it on. I think that those covers are so good. I like really like simple covers like that. I don't typically love covers with people on them. I feel like they kind of look odd, so I love like the more simple covers. And things like, even honorable mention, the Kings of Sin series, all their covers are so good. They're so like pretty, and then the spines are just amazing. So anything that is like somewhat like this, like simple but really like right there, is so good for me. I love them. What books do I need to read by the end of the year? Really want to finish the rest of the Boys of Tommen series. That includes Saving 6, Redeeming 6, and Taming 7 at this time of filming. I am so excited for all of them. I am so immersed in their world that I need to know everything that's going on. I have tried to put Keeping 13 kind of on the back burner at the very moment. That's also should be on the list, but I'm actively reading it. I'm trying to keep it somewhat on the back burner because I do want to get through the other books that I was reading. Like, I don't want to get sick of it, so I don't want to rush through it, but like, I'm itching to go pick up my Kindle. I read Binding 13 and then I immediately had to know what happened in Keeping 13, so I got it on Kindle Unlimited, so I don't physically have that book, but oh my gosh, I need to know. So also getting Saving and Redeeming 6 being Joey's story, and then Taming 7 being Gibbsy's story. I'm so excited, but I don't want to rush it. And then also I need to finish the Throne of Glass series. That was my like, every year for Christmas I get like one big book series. We just have started that like for the past few years. I got a Dick Calloway sister series, and then this year I got the Throne of Glass series, so I read Throne of Glass, and then I have the whole rest of the series as well as the 2 Crescent City books, and I need to read them. They're just sitting there. That is like my main goal. I should read like one a month at least. Next is how many 5-star reads did I have this year? So I had 5 5-star reads this year. Those included Legendary, If Only I Had Told Her, Divine Rivals, All the Right Places, and the Bad Reputation duet. All of them literally so drastically different, but so amazing. Now, I gave those all 5-star reads, but if you didn't notice, only 2 of the 5-star reads made it on this as like the best books. Because although I gave Legendary 5 stars, I don't think it was like the best book that I've ever read. I wouldn't put it above Divine Rivals or Bad Reputation duet. If Only I Told Her was just like incredible, like I had mentioned before. And All the Right Places I read for reading my friend's favorite books. It was my friend Vanessa's like favorite book. Anytime I ever think of her, I think of that book. So that book was just like incredible. I physically cannot give that one less than 5 stars. It's so good. What books do I want to reread this year? Now, this is a really hard question for me because typically I don't reread books unless like I'm in a slump and I'm like, okay, I really need something good. But if I were to reread any books, I think I would pick and choose maybe some from like the Addicted Calloway sister series. Like, I'm a big Connor and Rose fan, so maybe I would pick up their books. I don't know, like, but not typically a rereader really at all. So that was a hard question for me, but if I were to choose, it would probably be like Kiss the Sky or something like that. A book that I enjoyed that had mixed reviews. Now this book, Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. Why? Tell me why I love that book literally so much. I get it that it's like cringy or it's this or it's that, but it's such like it was like at some point so bad and stupid that it was so good. Like, do you know those kinds of books? Like, that has a lot of mixed reviews. Either people love it and will die for it, or people friggin' hate it so much. I absolutely loved it. Again, read it for my friend's favorite reading my friend's favorite books video. That was Jess's favorite, and she was so excited to make me read Twilight that like she couldn't even contain herself. So Twilight, so good. And the last question is 5-star predictions for the rest of the year. I think that I'm definitely gonna rate one of the books from the Throne of Glass series 5 stars. I don't know which one. People just love it. I think that now that we're through Throne of Glass, the first one, that now that the world building is kind of maybe possibly done, I think that I am going to be giving like one of those books like a 5-star when we're really into it, really into the action. Like, it's very good. I just haven't picked it up. And then finally, something for the Boys of Tommen series, because that book series is just so good so far, and I could see Joey's books absolutely ruining me. However, I love Gibbsy, so I'm really excited for that one too. But I think that Saving or Redeeming 6 is going to be a 5-star read for me, because I think Joey's books are actually going to ruin me. Super excited for the second half of the year to see all the books that I'll read and what I'll read, and if I'll really get through those goals, what I'll read, like Saving and Redeeming 6 for example. But I'm really excited to see how the second half of the year is going to go in terms of everything, but, for this channel's purposes, books. I think since I read 52 books, I could definitely make my 80 goal. Maybe if I go over it, maybe we'll do like 90 to 100 books, but even then, like, I don't want to force myself to get there if I'm not going to, so I just definitely want to get to that 80 book goal. But yeah, so that is my mid-year book tag. I am excited for the second half of the year to see where I stand when I tier rank all of them, because I did that last year and that was so much fun. I have to do that again. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Bye!